Think elections are all about policies and promises? Think again. Organized crime has a vested interest in who holds power. They need friends in high places. Why? Because those friends can change laws. Laws that directly impact their criminal enterprises. Surprised? Don't be. It's a scary thought, right? That the very people meant to protect us might be working with the people we need protection from. But sadly, it's a reality in many corners of the world. And it's happening more often than we'd like to believe. This isn't some Hollywood action flick, this is the real deal. And the stakes, they couldn't be higher. We're talking about the very fabric of our democracies being threatened. Italy, a country renowned for its rich history, stunning landscapes, and vibrant culture. From the rolling hills of Tuscany to the ancient ruins of Rome, Italy is a land that has captivated the hearts and minds of people around the world. It's also the birthplace of some of the world's most beloved culinary traditions, land of pasta, pizza, and the mafia. But beneath the surface of this picturesque nation lies a darker, more sinister reality. For decades, the Italian mafia, or Cosa Nostra, has held a firm grip on the country's political system. They've infiltrated local governments, they've bribed officials. Their reach extends far beyond the criminal underworld, seeping into the very fabric of Italian society. They've even resorted to violence and intimidation to get their way. Their goal? To maintain control and power at any cost. The mafia's tactics are ruthless, leaving a trail of fear and destruction in their wake. One of their primary objectives is to secure lucrative public contracts. By infiltrating the construction and public works sectors, they ensure a steady flow of income and influence. These contracts are often awarded through corrupt means, with bribes and threats ensuring compliance. Another key aspect of their operations is money laundering. By funneling their illicit gains through legitimate businesses, they can clean their dirty money and continue to operate with impunity. This allows them to expand their criminal enterprises and further entrench themselves in society. And for a long time, they were incredibly successful. The mafia's influence was felt in every corner of Italy, from the bustling cities to the quiet countryside. Their wealth and power seemed unassailable, and their criminal activities went largely unchecked. The mafia's influence on Italian politics is a stark reminder of what happens when organized crime goes unchecked. Their ability to manipulate and control elected officials poses a significant threat to democracy and the rule of law. It's a classic case of the fox guarding the henhouse. The very people who are supposed to protect and serve the public are often the ones enabling the criminals. And in this scenario, the hens are the Italian people. They are the ones who suffer the consequences of this unholy alliance. Their trust in the government is eroded, and their safety and well-being are compromised. They're the ones who ultimately suffer when their elected officials are in the pocket of criminals. The fight against the mafia is ongoing, and the resilience of the Italian people is a testament to their desire for a better, more just society. Let's hop over to Mexico, a country rich in culture, history, and unfortunately, plagued by the pervasive influence of drug cartels. Here, powerful drug cartels have woven themselves into the very fabric of the government. They bribe police officers, ensuring that law enforcement turns a blind eye to their activities. They threaten judges, making it nearly impossible to prosecute them. They even assassinate politicians who dare to stand in their way. These assassinations send a chilling message to anyone who might oppose them. Resistance is futile. Their objective? To control drug trafficking routes, which are the lifeblood of their operations. They aim to silence any opposition, ensuring that their illicit activities can continue unimpeded. To maintain their grip on power, they employ a combination of fear, violence, and corruption. Cartel leaders give orders that are carried out with ruthless efficiency, leaving no room for dissent. The Mexican government is engaged in a bloody and protracted war against these cartels. Military operations, armed confrontations, and police raids are a daily occurrence in this ongoing battle. But the cartels have proven to be a formidable enemy, with deep roots and seemingly endless resources. They live in luxurious settings, funded by their hidden drug stashes and heavily armed operations. Imagine living in a country where you're not sure who to trust. The atmosphere is tense, and people are wary, knowing that danger could be lurking around any corner, where the police might be on the payroll of the very criminals they're supposed to be fighting. This corruption undermines the rule of law and erodes public trust in the authorities. This is the reality for millions of Mexicans living under the shadow of the cartels. Their daily lives are marked by stress and uncertainty as they navigate a world where crime and corruption are rampant. Sadly, Italy and Mexico are just the tip of the iceberg. This unholy alliance between politics and organized crime is a global phenomenon. From Russia and China to Nigeria and Brazil, criminal organizations are finding ways to buy influence, rig elections, and undermine democratic institutions. A staggering statistic, it's estimated that nearly 20% of all elections worldwide are tainted by criminal interference. Think about that for a second. 1 in 5 elections. That's not just a few bad apples, that's a systemic problem. And it's a problem that affects us all. Because when criminals can buy their way into power, everyone loses. Except, of course, the criminals themselves. Section 5. Dirty money, dirtier politics, tracing the flow. So how does it work? How does dirty money infiltrate the clean world of politics and business? How do these criminal organizations gain so much influence? The answer lies in their ability to manipulate and control. It all boils down to one thing: money. Money is the lifeblood of these operations. Lots and lots of money. We're talking about sums that are hard to even imagine. Organized crime is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. It's a shadow economy that rivals legitimate businesses. They have more money than many small countries. This financial power gives them unprecedented influence, and they're not afraid to use it. They buy influence wherever they can. They funnel money into political campaigns through shell companies and straw donors. These are just fronts to hide the true source of the funds. They bribe politicians with suitcases full of cash. These bribes ensure that laws and regulations favor their operations. They offer them lavish gifts and favors. Expensive cars, luxury watches, and even vacations are all part of the deal. And if all else fails, they resort to threats and violence. Intimidation is a powerful tool to ensure compliance. It's a simple formula, really. Money equals power. The more money they have, the more power they wield. And in the world of politics, power is the name of the game. Those who control the money control the game. Section 6. The high cost of corruption beyond dollar signs. The consequences of this unholy alliance are far-reaching and devastating. When organized crime infiltrates political systems, it erodes public trust. It undermines the rule of law. It creates an environment of impunity where criminals can act with little fear of consequence, but it goes beyond that. This corruption also diverts resources away from essential public services like healthcare, education, and infrastructure. Money that should be going to build schools and hospitals ends up lining the pockets of corrupt officials and their criminal associates. In short, this corruption robs citizens of their present and their future. Section 7. A vicious cycle: power, greed, and impunity. And here's the really scary part. It creates a vicious cycle. The more power these criminal organizations accumulate, the more corrupt the system becomes. And the more corrupt the system becomes, the easier it is for organized crime to flourish. It's a self-perpetuating system of greed, power, and impunity, and it's incredibly difficult to break. But break it we must, because the alternative is unthinkable. We cannot allow organized crime to hijack our democracies. The stakes are simply too high. Section 8. Restoring trust, a monumental challenge. So what can be done? How do we combat this insidious problem? It's a monumental challenge to be sure, but it's not an insurmountable one. It starts with acknowledging the problem. We need to shine a light on this dark underbelly of politics. We need to strengthen our institutions. We need to empower law enforcement agencies to investigate and prosecute these crimes. And we need to educate the public about the dangers of organized crime and the importance of holding our elected officials accountable. It's a long and arduous process, but it's a fight worth fighting. Section 9. The fight continues, safeguarding our systems. The insidious link between politics and organized crime is a threat to democracy itself. It undermines the very foundations of our society, but we, the people, have the power to fight back. By demanding transparency, accountability, and a commitment to the rule of law, we can break this unholy alliance and reclaim our governments. The fight won't be easy, but it's a fight we must win. because the future of our democracies depends on it. The next time you step into a voting booth, remember, your vote is not just a right, it's a weapon. Use it wisely.